This is step 1 of 5 to manifest anything that you want in your life. Hi, I'm Selena. I'm a life coach and a yoga teacher, and I've been so deep in this work, in self-study for at least 10 years, and then guiding people along their journeys for about 8. And I think that mine really started when I was 24 years old, and I quit my job in advertising, and I bought a one-way ticket to South America, and I packed up a backpack, and I just went. Well, I'd always wanted to go backpacking through South America. I didn't necessarily want to go alone, but nobody was going to go with me, so I was like, well, I want this experience, so I'm going to go. It was also really fueled by this deep wanting to understand what my purpose was. And I spent these really long bus rides, because South America, you go on these like 12 to 24 hour long bus rides, really kind of contemplating, what do I want? So that's where my journey really started. And then I went deep into spirituality and self-help books and became a yoga teacher myself and started teaching these practices. And then later on became a life coach and really guiding other people to get clear on what they wanted and to really go after and be an active creator in the lives that they're living. I really see manifestation as a mindfulness practice and a way of just living in creative flow. Because what manifestation does is it requires you to slow down, to tune in, and to really be in relationship with yourself, to be in relationship with your desires. What are your dreams? What do you want? What are your preferences? What does living a beautiful life look like to you? And then it also requires for you to be in tune with your intuition. What's the right next step for you? What feels good for you? Because ultimately, creating a life of your dreams is creating a life that feels good to you. And it's so much more deeper into inner joy, so much more deeper into inner joy than buying products or this kind of surface level facade that I feel as though in our modern day culture is really sold to us. Before we get started, I just want to share, I think that for many years I was manifesting the wrong things. I was obsessed with wealth and abundance and quick success. And my New York City life made that very materialistic, and it really looked like a certain way. But after living abroad, I have to admit, I see things differently. I wrote a thought piece about my reflections on capitalism, toxic spirituality, and well-being, and what I think is really important to be focusing on when you're manifesting. I'll drop that in the description below. So I see manifestation as a mindfulness practice, and it's you tuning into what you want, tuning into your intuition, and really clarifying what would be your big dreams, and then going after them so that those dreams can start to become a reality. What makes me so passionate about sharing these tools is that this becomes a lifestyle. This isn't like a one and done, nice, manifested it, move on. This is a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle of you living in alignment with what feels good and being an active creator in your life. You get to become the type of person who sees roadblocks or problems as creative opportunities to think outside the box, who dreams. I mean, it's so fun to be around people who are dreamers because your mind just expands and expands and expands, and you get to become that type of person, and that type of person who believes in themselves enough that they can turn their dreams, however big or however small, into a reality. And I also believe that these are the type of people who really contribute to the collective in a positive way. So all of that starts with just one question. What do I want? Now that question can feel incredibly existential, and I have been there so many times, this week included, where I'm feeling super uprooted. We need to move. Literally, the world is our oyster. We're currently in France. I'm from the States. My partner's South African. We were building a farm project in Zambia. The world is our oyster. Where do we want to move? And it makes me sit there and think, what do I want? So it can feel incredibly existential. But that question, what do I want, can also feel super practical, really tangible, and very much in this very moment. What do I want to do for vacation next month? What kinds of communities do I want to be involved in? How do I want to feel on a daily basis in my life? What sorts of hobbies get me excited to try? What are my values? And how are these different buckets in my life, home, career, relationship, physical exercise, how are those fitting into alignment with my values? You see, all of these questions come back to the one big question, which is, what do I want? When you live a life where you're not clear on what you want, you might find yourself in a lot of situations that you just really don't want to be in. Life happens. There's a lot of moments, no matter how in alignment you are, where you go, what? This isn't really what I want. And through those moments of, this isn't really what I want, is then the invitation to be like, okay, what do I want? But if you find yourself consistently in situations or experiences or bigger life chapters that you're like, this is not what I want, then you have nobody really to blame but yourself. Because chances are you have not been an active creator in your daily life. Whereas if you ask yourself often, what do I want? And if you honor what those desires, needs, and preferences are, you take back a lot of power in the creation of your life. And you start to create a daily existence that feels good to you, that is beautiful to you and surrounded by things that you find beautiful and inspiring, that is in alignment with your choices and preferences, that's creative. And in a grander scheme of life is you are actively creating memories and experiences that you're gonna look back on and just be, that's what I wanted. Or I'm so grateful. Or wow, look at this life that I have built. So these are some of the common mistakes that I see a lot of my clients making when it comes to this manifestation process. They're living a life that's based off of what other people want for them. Maybe their parents, maybe society, maybe like an ex-boyfriend who you haven't spoken to in years, but somehow is still in the back of your mind, in your narrative. So they've spent their lives living or going after or doing the things that other people want for them. And I can tell you, I've worked with so many clients who have been in this space, and it doesn't feel fulfilling. It doesn't feel right, and it feels empty. Another common mistake that I see is maybe they do know what they want, but the grandness of it feels so overwhelming. And they're like, I'm here. Surely that's not surely I can't dream that because that is so far from my current reality. And so it feels so difficult for them to even perceive that as a possibility that maybe they even just write it off altogether and they don't know what they want. I have been in this place many, many times where I just go, I don't know what I want. But the truth is, I really deep down do know something that I want, but I'm so afraid to ask for it. Either because I don't think that it's possible, I don't think that the other person will receive that well. You know, in a relationship, I want this, maybe they don't want that. Oh my God, now I can't say what I want, so I just go, I don't know. Ultimately, it's just a big disconnection from getting clear on what you want and speaking what you want. So in the rest of this video, I'm gonna give some really tangible, easy, practical tools to start implementing into your day right now that will help you get more clarity on what you want. And then the next video will be step 2 in the manifestation process, which is looking at the limiting beliefs around what it is that you want. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, this would be your time. Hit subscribe and let's go through this process together. So here we go, getting clarity on what you want. I'm going to share the 3 that I think are the most powerful for just kind of immediately getting some clarity so that you can move on to step 2, which is looking at limiting beliefs. But I do want to offer a caveat here. Part of getting clarity on what you want is being in a relationship with yourself and your preferences and ultimately your intuition. If you're really new to this work, I want to kind of like redirect you to start here. Asking yourself on just daily basis, what are little things that you want? As little as like, is it coffee or tea this morning? Closing your eyes, taking a breath, acting on the first gut response. For me, it's gonna always be coffee, and I hope that you have coffee in the house, because I cannot imagine waking up and not having that right away, but that is my preference. Your preference is different. Okay, so that was my caveat. And now we're going to move into the tools and resources to get clarity on what you want. My first resource is mind mapping. Mind mapping is an organic way to brainstorm your thoughts, feelings, emotions, dreams, desires about a certain topic. It's kind of like a stream of consciousness around a certain topic that you might be manifesting or you might be wanting clarity on. It is meant to be messy, disorganized stream of consciousness for you to just put words, thoughts, feelings, phrases, photos, symbols, however it is that your brain starts to bring forward things that fit in the theme is how it's meant to happen for you. So don't overthink this too much. Get a really big piece of paper and say you want clarity. I'll use my example. I'm not sure where we're going to live in a few months, like anywhere in the world. So if I was going through the mind mapping exercise, I would get a big piece of paper and I would just write home. And then I'm just going to start writing whatever comes to mind when I think of home. And I'm just going to put the words, maybe draw photos, maybe say comfort, or cashmere just came to mind. Cashmere is very like homey to me. So I'm just going to sort of brain dump all of the things that come to mind when I think of home. So you're going to do that for whatever it is that you're trying to get clarity on right now. Set a timer, do it for maybe 30 minutes, and then stop. Look at your paper from a distance and just notice, are there any themes? Are there any words that you're like, where did that come from? Is there anything that's surprising to you? Are there anything, what is standing out to you as maybe being, think of like breadcrumbs into getting a little bit more clarity on what home or whatever it is that you're manifesting looks like. Then you're going to put that paper away and you're going to come back to it tomorrow and you're going to look at it again with fresh eyes. And again, is there anything here that stands out to me? And that's your mind mapping exercise. You're done. And through that process, you're going to get a lot of clarity around whatever it is that you are asking for yourself. Okay, my second resource for you is journaling. I am a huge proponent of journaling. I think that it is just such a beautiful way to kind of put all of your thoughts and feelings out on a page. But I recognize that journaling is not always easy for everybody to just open up a blank page and like start writing about something. Just like, I don't know what to write. Totally fine, and I totally get it. You open a blank page and like your mind just goes blank. If that's you, fear not. In the description below, I've dropped a couple of free resources for you with journaling prompts and like a 7-day challenge just to start to get you writing and thinking about whatever it is that you are looking for clarity on.
Don't sleep on these. They're in the description below and they are free, powerful journaling resources that will help you get clarity right now and will help you build a habit of journaling over time.
And then my third and final resource for you is vision boarding. I think that vision boarding is nice to do after the mind map and or journaling because you've already then kind of crafted a little bit more awareness of what it is that you want or clarity on what it is that you want. And the vision board is where you bring real photos that exemplify the feelings that you're looking for, or maybe very literally the exact thing that you're manifesting. It's like if you're manifesting a crock pot, which I did once, you would be looking for photos of the crock pot. If you're manifesting clarity around home, like myself, I might put photos of homes that feel really luxurious to me or really comforting, or like, this is how I want my home to feel. And the vision board is just where you really bring that to life. And then you get to look at that vision board often in your manifestation process. Okay. So we have a couple of activities for you. One is on a daily basis, just start carving out moments where you go, what do I want in this moment? Then we take it the step further, and I've got 3 resources for you. We have mind mapping, journaling, and vision boarding. And again, in the description below, I'll give more resources, like tangible tools for you to use and implement. Those are the 3 things. Once you start to get clarity on what it is that you want, we're going to move into step 2, which if you have not already hit subscribe, be sure to do so, because step 2 is going to be the next step in manifesting what it is that you really want. But I just want to say, this is a practice. You're not going to get it by, I must sit here and journal until I find exactly what I want. It's not how it works. You're just opening the door, and then you're keeping that door open so that you get more information to feed into your process. This is part of that. So if this resonates with you and you haven't already, this is what you're going to do. You're going to hit subscribe. You're going to turn on the little bell, because that announces to you when a new video comes out, and you're going to want to know when the next video comes. This is when we're talking about step 2, which is limiting beliefs. And then the 3rd step you're going to do is you're going to drop a comment below and let me know any questions or what resonated, or if you know what you want, please tell me, because I would love to hold that vision for you. And then step 4. And then the 4th thing you're going to do is you're going to share this with a friend who you know is really interested and really committed to building a life that they love, because this is a super valuable resource. And I really believe that if we are all living in better alignment with our biggest dreams and who we are and what we want, we're contributing to a much more positive collective, and that's super important to me. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I'm so excited to hear what comes up for what you want, and I will see you next week in Limiting Beliefs.